This is May 2022, and I can't believe we're almost at the end of the month. My month has gone fast. I ran away from home and went to the beach for a few days, but it is time to make our June Year with My Gnomies folio of the month. And we're working with the 2 June papers from the Photoplay calendar kit. These are all about Dad, great masculine colors, patterns, and then you need your 2 June calendar sheets, and you need your June stickers from this sticker sheet. The very first thing we're going to do is cut 2 6-inch by 8.5-inch pieces. This is a gray cardstock. I decided to keep this one super masculine, and we're just going to overlap these about 1/4 of an inch. And you can use score tape if you like. And just kind of overlap those 6-inch ends together. Burnish them down to spread that glue out or to really make that score tape stick. And then bring in your scoring tool, and you're just going to score along this long side at 6. Then you're going to need to fold it along that 6-inch line and score it again at 6 and score it at 9. Such a fun, simple little folio. So this far right score is a mountain. Then this the second 6-inch score is a valley. So you can see we've created a tag pocket here, and then this one folds in. So this is our folio base. All right. Now, liner sheets. I'm working with a light blue, and this is not a super heavy cardstock. We do so many layers that it gets really sturdy. This is probably a 65 pound. So you're going to need a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 for this page and this page. So that's 2 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. You're going to need, then you'll have offcuts, and you're going to need a 5 3/4 by, I think this is 5 1/4 here, and this is 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. That's going to be a pocket. Then on the back, we're going to do a 5 3/4 by 5 1/4 and a 5 3/4 by 2 3/4 to cover our back. And then for this little page, I'm going to bring in a piece of navy just to change things up a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and cut this to a height of 5 3/4 inches. And then we're going to need 2 3/4 to go here. And we're going to need 2 3/4 to go here. And then for this little piece, we're just going to need 1 1/2 to go there. All right, so that lines, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue mine in, and we'll come back and do the next step. All right, I'm lining this, and I'm taking this 2 3/4 by 5 3/4 piece of navy, and I'm going to trim this down to 1 3/4 inches, and I'll show you why. This part, this 1 3/4 by 5 3/4, we're going to put out here on our little tag and pocket page. Then we're going to take this 1-inch piece, and we're going to cut it at 4 3/4 and 3 3/4, and then we're at 3 3/4. Let me see, we're going to cut it at, take it down and cut it at 1 and 7/8. Set those to a side. Take these two little 1-inch pieces, fold them in half. These are going to be our gussets for our little pocket. So they line up with the edge. No one's going to know that they're navy blue because they're really never seen. So I'm just folding these in half. Oops. Placing my adhesive here. Placing my little gusset right here along the edge, and I just use my finger to make sure I'm lined up there. Place adhesive here, place adhesive here, and then just fold this. See? Burnish that down, and now you've got a pocket. So I like to go in and just get in between those gussets and burnish them down real good. Now here's your pocket page. So we've got this 2 3/4 inch. Bring in your scoring tool. Score a 1/2 inch. See, I've got this lined up at 2 3/4 on my scoring tool. I'm scoring a 1/2 inch along the right hand side. Then this folds. This is going to be our pocket. All right. Now bring in these 1 7/8 inch pieces of blue cardstock, and you could go 1 3/4 if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. It's close enough. Fold these in half. And these become the gussets for this pocket. So now I'm just going to bring my scissors in, and I'm going to trim my pocket flap, just kind of trim it out a little bit, cut a little triangle out of it so that it will sit neatly and nicely. And now we're going to glue this in. At the bottom of our page. And now no one knows that this was pieced in. It looks like one solid piece. Isn't that great? Then on the back, just for those of you that are new, we're going to take this 5 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to glue it on the back. Then we're going to take this 5 3/4 by 2 3/4, and we're going to piece this in. And then this will also look like a solid piece. Okay. So that finishes making the folio base and adding the liners. All right, we're going to do something a little bit different this month. We're going to try it anyway and see how it goes. I've got my quad page lined up on my cutter. Just making sure. I want to cut this June out. And I'm going to turn it and cut it this way. And I had a thought, because I get bored making the same thing over and over again. Maybe you do too, I don't know. All right. Put this away for now. Normally, I have you trim this down to fit on the page. And I am going to have you trim the height to 5 3/8, like line this up right here. I'm sorry, this is 5 5/8. And then I'm going to have you turn it this way and take another 1/4 of an inch off and make the height of it 5 3/8. But I want to leave this branding strip on the left, on the border on the left. And I'm going to bring in my scoring tool, and I'm going to go 1 2 3/8 right here. Not quite a 1/2 inch. And this is going to be a flap. All right. So now we're still a little over 5 1/2. So let's come over here and let's make our width on this with the little hinge folded back be 5 3/8. Bring in a piece of navy blue, and let's just create a small margin. I'm going to mark this with my pencil for you, and then I'm going to measure it. So don't worry. I want it right here, and I want it right here. So that first pencil mark is right at 5 1/2. Let's just go slightly over 5 1/2, y'all. And then let's just go slightly over 5 1/2 for the height. Hang with me. Now we can, let's line this up so that it's even top and bottom. And let's glue our flap behind it, just like that. So now that you've got this glued and even on your line it up and cut a little border on the side. And now look what we've done. We've created a really fun little flap page that allows us to add an extra picture here and an extra picture here. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm kind of excited about it. I like that because it makes this folio even more photo friendly. And I'm also going to take, just to even things out, this little piece of blue. If I had a smaller piece, I would grab it, but I'm just working and talking here. I'm going to create our border here on the left so that when I glue this down, see, now we're even all the way around. Do you see what that did? So that's just a little tip to make this consistent. And now look, you've got this fun little flap page. How cool is that? That's a whole new addition. Your front cover, cut a 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 inch square of the plaid. And I cut it over the icon that had the 3 little circles and stuff like that. But it doesn't, well, yeah. And then I matted it on just a slightly larger piece of navy blue that is like 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. And that's going to go on the front cover. But we're not going to glue that down quite yet. Then also set aside from your card sheet the dad pennant and the gears and the #1 dad in the cute little car. So set these aside for the cover. We'll come back and do those in a bit. All right. Then here on your little pocket flip page, trim from the bottom of your cut apart this strip of the checks and the stripes, and these are going to go, these are going to be the pocket liner, and I'm going to do mine so that the stripes are out. And I'm just centering this up. This is, let me see. I want to say it's like 1 inch and a little bit. Yes, it's 1 inch and 1/8. And then I cut, this is the Super Dad. If I flipped this over, you would see it's the Super Dad thing from the cut apart. And I cut 1 inch off to line the inside of the pocket. Okay, so that's going to line this. Then flip this open. And you've got this piece that's the Happy Father's Day. Leave the binding strip on it. Trim this to 3 5/8 by, I guess it's like 2 3/8. Fold along your banding strip, fold your 1/2 inch on each side, trim out your corners, and this is going to be a little pocket on the bottom of this page, just like this. All right, and then over here in our pocket page, I've cut a 5.5 by 3 7/8 of the highway paper. And you can see I lined, oops, I got a little scrap in there. I lined this with navy, slightly larger, so it's probably 5 5/8. Since this one is, what did I say? Yes. So the navy is 5 5/8, and then the highway paper is 5.5. Then from the bottom of that, you're going to have a piece left. Trim your gear piece to 2 inches by 5.5 inches and mat it on a slightly larger piece of navy. And I mean, this is a very narrow border. And center this up on your pocket like that. Cut the June strip from your cards page and glue this down at the top. Like that. All right, let's see if we can finish this guy up. I've put a 5 5/8 square of our navy on the back. So in our pocket here, we've taken our little Best Dad Ever word strip and we've just turned it into a little folio. This fits perfectly in our little pocket right here. So this opens up. Now we've got our little tag, and again, we've taken our strip of a scrap, cut banner flags on the end, folded it on the diagonal, and then we're just going to use our punch to add this to the top of the tag and tuck it in the pocket like that. In this center pocket, I took a piece of gray cardstock to make another little photo folio. This one is 8.5 by 5.5, and I lined the inside with 4 by 5 1/4 panels of navy for photo mats, and then we just covered the front with our tool paper, 4 by 5 1/4. So that goes in that pocket. Then we have our Ultra Rad Dad tag that we just are doing the same thing to, just like that. Then I had this little square piece with the dad on it, and I had this little scrap of the highway paper. So I fussy cut out dad, glued that down. So this piece of the green is about, again, it's just a scrap, 3 by 3, but it's short on the inside. So this is what I'm going to do to fix that. I'm going to put adhesive along the bottom. Then I'm going to bring in this little scrap that I cut to the width, and then I'm just going to line it up and glue it down. So now it looks like it should be there. Simple. So you can put a couple little photos in here or tuck a gift card in there. That's really cute. So that goes in that center pocket. I'm going to leave this just exactly like it is so you can add a nice big photo. Then I have this scrap of gray that I'm going to put on the back side of our flap page. Let me make sure I'm in frame here. And then this is the inside of a die that I cut. I used an old Spellbinders scalloped square. It's been around forever. And you'll see in a moment why I used that for there. So that finishes this part of the inside. You can decorate it up with your stickers or however you want to do it. Now we come to the cover. On the cover, we've got this piece that we cut earlier. This is a 5.5-inch square of the plaid matted on a slightly larger piece of the navy, so it comes out to be approximately 5 5/8. Then I had this little piece of the tulle paper left over. This little strip was just about 2 inches, and I trimmed it to a height of 5 1/4. Then I matted it on navy. And this is going to go on the left. And I'm using the plaid lines to help me get it straight. Then I had this piece of the gear paper from the cut apart page. And I matted this. At first I was going to use this like this, but then I decided I did want to make a shaker. And that's where I pulled out those squares, those scalloped squares. So I cut out the medium scalloped square and backed it with my clear acrylic cardstock. I'm going to take this little image of my cut out and I'm going to put it right in the center of this panel. And the panel I had to trim down shorter. It's now only 3 3/4 inches by just about 3 1/2 because it was rectangular. I just kind of made it more square. So you're going to take this and you're going to put your foam tape, 3 layers of it, on the back. Okay, so here we are all ready to go. I've glued my center panel here. I filled this with some little gears, some star sequins, some little tulle brads that I broke the legs off of, and some little blue sequins. And now we're going to take our frame and we're going to line it up. Hopefully straight is good. And press that in place. That's really cute. There's a little toolbox in there. There's a little hammer, a little ruler, a little pliers. And there they are. That is really cute. That's a cute little folio. Because it's for guys, I don't want to overly decorate it on the front. I've got this little dad pennant that I cut out of one of the cut apart sheets, and I'm just going to put adhesive just there and put this right here so that a photo can go back behind it inside our little flap page, just to dress that up a little bit. And then I'll use the rest of my stickers and things to finish decorating it. But that's the basics, guys. Really super cute little masculine folio made with Year with My Gnomies from Photoplay for Tutorial Tuesday. All right, guys, I'm going to finish this one out. I'll have still photos at the end, and I'll caption the measurements to make it a little bit easier for you to make. Thanks for joining me. Go get your craft on. Bye.